Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Sharks properly embarrassed by the Scarlets. Sharks full of Springboks, full of big name players who might not even be Springboks, but will certainly be knocking on the door of Springboks soon, one would assume. Uh, Completely embarrassed by the Scarlets. I mean, wow, what a performance from the Sharks, or lack thereof, let's be honest. I just can't put into words the fact that, we look at the Sharks team, have got so much money recently and just cannot make it work. They've got some serious problems at that union that needs fixing. Lots of things need fixing at that union. And they're full of big name Springboks as well, not just the run of the day, bench warmers as it were. These are it's Captain Siya Khaleesi, Lekanya Am, Irben Etzebeth. There are huge names in this squad, and they just cannot make it work at the moment. But all credit to the Scarlets, because they did exactly what the Sharks couldn't, which was just keep the basics right, make sure you do the basics well. And that's what the Sharks could not do today. Missed tackles, poor defensive line, poor passes, poor execution, no ingenuity in the attack. The kicks were poor. So many errors and unforced errors from the Sharks. It really was a really poor display from them. And Scarlets, from the very get-go, were the better team. And they maintained that the entire time throughout the whole game. And so all credit to the Scarlets for what was a great match for them and their fans, of course. And the Sharks do leave with nothing. Scarlets, 32 points. Sharks, 20. 2 tries apiece. Scarlets doing very well with Costello. They're definitely winning the man of the match there. Fantastic performance from him. And if I just run through the match, Evans scored a try early on for the Scarlets in the 8th minute. Managed to break through the line, and Costello again converted it. In the 14th minute, again, Scarlets were still all over the Sharks. Sharks were barely in the Scarlets half for the first 20 minutes. Costello got a penalty goal there. They slotted over. And again, in the 22nd minute, they continued with that pressure. And Costello again got a penalty there and slotted it over. To put them 13 points up against the Sharks in that first half up to there. Siya Khaleesi then finally started sort of turning things around for the Sharks at about 26 minutes on. For a good 10 minutes there, the Sharks were looking a lot better, and Siya Khaleesi scored a try in that 27th minute inside the maul that they finally managed to get working. It was just a real rush maul on the 5 metre. And Kieran Bosch did go and convert that as well. And that was all the points in the first half, 13-7. So at that point, you're thinking the Sharks, we haven't really woken up yet. But the second half, I'm sure we can wake up and we'll be better then. We saw it from the Lions prior to today as well. Today's match, they also played and were not looking so good. And then they managed to turn that around in the second half and start playing rugby. So we're thinking, sure, the Sharks will do the same thing. Apparently not. Apparently the Sharks were not keen to do that. They came out at halftime and Bosch managed to slot over a penalty very early on. They clearly made a decision in that second half to take points when points were available, because in the first half, so many times they visited the 22 of the Scarlets, the Sharks, and they did not convert or put any points on the board. And the very first penalty they got, anywhere near the 22 in the second half, they put it straight over for points. So clearly a bit of a change in tactic, you would have thought. But then that went straight out the window in the 45th minute when Evans went and scored a try, a bizarre try. It was kicked forward. Kieran Bosch misinterpreted the bounce, or at least the bounce was very unfriendly. Came back in, and Evans went and grabbed it, chipped it forward at least from the spill, and went over and slid over with the ball in hand to get the second try of the day for the Scarlets. And again, Costello converted that in the 45th minute as well. And then from there, Scarlets were just continuing with the pressure, and they weren't brilliant with the ball in hand. They weren't making too much ground, but they were making enough to win penalties, and that's what they did. They just did the clever things, like test match rugby almost. And in the 52nd minute, Costello again slots over a penalty that they received. And then again in the 55th minute, slots over yet another penalty to then put the Scarlets all the way up into 32 points. And then, I think it's a bit more than that. But nonetheless. And then Bongi Manambi then came back in the 58th minute to score a try for the Sharks to hopefully try and put them closer to the means there, and it was just scored from more relatively well set up, and Bosch did convert that as well. And then Bosch then kicked again, another one, got a penalty over, but then the Scarlets also put another 2 penalties over right there just to take it away from them, to make it a 12-point gap right at the end and make it a victory for the Scarlets. And the Sharks tried to get the bonus point right at the end, weren't even able to do that. He was tackled out, Abrams on the line basically. From the Scarlets there. And Scarlets doing very well at home to beat the Springbok packed Sharks team, which are just really looking quite hopeless at the moment. And I think back to the drawing board is an understatement for that Sharks team right now. They might not make qualifying for the quarters of this competition because they just really are nowhere. As a Sharks fan, you're really worried. And yeah, there's lots of work to be done for the Sharks. But all credit to the Scarlets. They were very good today. Did all the right things. Just played basic rugby very, very well. And it works. Always works. So all credit to that. That was the URC clash. It was Sharks beaten by the Scarlets, embarrassed by the Scarlets. And yeah, you will catch us again on Forever Rugby and on Forever Sports. Be sure to subscribe and like the video and check out more of our content. Of course, we do live streams all the time and other sports as well. And we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.